Well, good afternoon. This is Charles Coachman, and this is Bay Area Let's Talk. Well, we've had a pretty exciting little afternoon across the U.S., and I think that's probably the story of the day, if not the story of the new year. Pretty strange. Pretty wild happenings. Hey, I want to start the show out like I will start it out each time. Each time I want to start out if there is a birthday shout out, I want to say happy birthday. And this is happy birthday to a realtor here in the South Bay, and that is Lisa Paz Furtado. Lisa is just one of the nicest ladies around. Mother, wife, sister, daughter. Are those terms acceptable? But Lisa, I have known for many years, and I am grateful to know her. She is an awesome, awesome person, and got nothing but good things to say about her. So, Lisa, happy birthday to you. And if it's your birthday out there, I want to say happy birthday to you too. So enjoy. God bless and have a great day. All right. So we are having one heck of a day out there. One heck of a day out there. Again, the show is called Bay Area Let's Talk. I would appreciate it if you got any comments about today, what is going on in DC, what has happened in Atlanta, or what has happened in Georgia over the last 24 hours. Like to hear about that. And then anything else that's going on in the Bay Area that we need to know about. It is a great time to talk about it, that's for sure. Again, my name is Charles Coachman. And if you want to text me at 408-439-0766 or email me at bayarealetstalk@gmail.com, I love to have your messages. You can also, and I'll put this message up there real quickly, I am using StreamYard. That's a platform that I am using to broadcast with. And if you'd like to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and allow them to use your likeness, they will put your picture out there along with your name. And anything that you have to say, I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it. So again, that is StreamYard.com/Facebook and allow them to use your picture and name, your likeness. So yesterday, we had the Georgia senatorial races, and they came right down to the wire. They were very, very close. So close that they just made one of the calls right now. And it looks like both seats have went to the Democrats. So that is good news. Good news for our Democrat friends. Not such great news for our Republican friends. And hey, what's going to happen? What's going to happen in the U.S.? Are we going to see Democrats change the U.S. in a fashion that we haven't seen before? Unprecedented? Are we going to see a move towards socialism? Are we going to see our government change completely? as you know, or as you should know, there was now a 50-50 tie in the Senate. But the person that makes those decisions now in the Senate, should there be a tie on any votes, is the vice president. And that vice president is going to be Kamala Harris. Here she is, a California senator. That will be changed from now on. January 20th, Kamala Harris will be Vice President of the United States. Our first woman Vice President. Six months ago, I would have thought that was very unlikely. Here she had a presidential campaign that fell flat on its face. But she's a favorite of the Democrat Party. A favorite of California. And here we go. So we're going to find out what is going to happen. What is going to happen? Will the dire predictions that we've been hearing about for the last 6 months, or for the last 2 months, definitely ever since the presidential election, are we going to be hearing about that? What about what we have heard will come to fruition? I don't know. I don't know. You know, Twitter is blown up. We've got a lot of hatred in our nation right now. I'm not a person that's going to hate anybody. I will not hate anybody. I may not like what a person does. I may not like what a person says. I may disagree with an opinion. But I don't hate them. I may not think their choices or their wisdom is good. I would say that maybe they're wise in their own eyes. But here we are. We are going to have to face what we are doing. What is going to happen? What's going to happen to our country? I'm a person that believes that, you know what? We're going to survive. We're going to survive. Are we going to thrive? Well, as individuals, we can do that. We can thrive. We can keep moving. But what does it mean for our nation overall? Are people going to be satisfied with the president that has been in public office for nearly 5 decades? President Joe Biden. I don't know. If you like him, that's fine. I don't know what kind of decisions he's going to make. We can tell that obviously they are moving further to the left than we have ever been, and that we have ever moved. And will we survive that? I don't know. We're going to find out, though. I've got a feeling. So, Let's take a look up here and see what we got going on. Tom Yen, how you doing, Tom? Good to see you here. Thank you. Hey, Kenneth. Thank you for being here. And Kenneth is out of Louisville. He is out of Louisville. And pizza party there. The party is always at Annie's. Got to check it out. Got to check it out. Got to make it back there. He will not make it more than 9 months and Harris will be president. That is scary. We will see. We're going to see what's going to happen. And I'm going to tell you from my side, I live in the Bay Area. And actually, Tom has lived in the Bay Area, I believe, most of his life, or had been stationed out here. I'm a conservative. I am a Christian conservative. Not necessarily a Republican, but my conservative views match up more with Republicans than my progressive friends. But I'm here in the Bay Area. I have lived here basically 60 years. I took a little hiatus when I moved into the Santa Cruz Mountains for a couple of years. But I've lived here in the Bay Area my entire life. What happened on the Capitol building was wrong. Storming the Capitol building was a huge mistake. A terrible mistake. I don't care what your feelings are. I did not like it when our cities were being overrun during the summer for the last 6 months. I did not like seeing businesses being broken into and vandalized. But I sure as hell don't like our Capitol building to be broken into and vandalized there. It should not have happened. And here we've had a lady shot. Don't know what the background was on it. Don't know. The last I heard, though, that she was in critical condition. The photos that I saw of her on television or on the computer were not good. Were not good. And this is not what the Trump movement was all about. The Trump movement was making changes. Hey, I want us to be patriots. I want us to be patriotic. But I don't want us to go in and act like the looters that were there this summer. We stand for law and order. That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. So Tom was born and raised in the Bay Area. For some reason, Tom, I thought that you were based in the Bay Area at one point. For some reason, I thought that you were tied into maybe the Presidio or something, but left 24 years ago. Hey, I understand. It was allowed. I believe it was set up. Well, one thing's for sure, and there's a lot of talk about it right now. Why weren't the police prepared for this? There was talk that there was going to be 250,000 people there, or up to a couple of million people there. I even heard some people saying there's going to be 5 million people there. Well, I didn't buy that. I didn't buy that at all. But why wasn't the Capitol building, the White House, and everything else secured in there? I think because they know that for the most part, Trump supporters are law and order people. Law and order people. But what we saw today at the White House was not a good example. And I think it's going to set back even further the movement that has been started and possibly now ended with Trump. We don't know. Was it Antifa? Are there any reports of Antifa there? I don't know. I haven't heard that. All I heard, it was people that came down from where the speech was being held that Trump did this morning. I was only able to listen to a few minutes of it. And of course, everyone's going to come out. All of the progressive speakers are going to come out and say it was incited by Trump. He wanted this to happen. I don't believe that. I don't believe he wanted to see the Capitol building stormed. I do believe he wanted to see it surrounded and everyone to be vocal. I don't believe he wanted to see what happened today. I refuse to believe that. And if he did, then he should have never been president to begin with. That's my thoughts. That's my thoughts. Was stationed at Fort Baker. Okay, I thought there was a military mix in there. So, Tom, I'm not sure what branch of the service you were in. Thank you for your service. But today, here we are. We've got 2 new senators. They'll probably be in Washington, D.C. tomorrow. Two new senators. And they are radical. They have some radical views. Maybe radical for me. We're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen because things are going to change. Things are definitely going to change. And it's difficult to watch. I am saddened that Trump is no longer going to be president. I've made my views abundantly clear, even though I think he was unfairly treated for 4 years. A lot of people say that, no, he should have been treated exactly that way. Having made up stories about you with the Russian influence, we had all of our magazines putting out pictures of the White House and their ties with the Kremlin. That hasn't happened. Trump is going to start a world war. That hasn't happened. Trump was impeached. That will always be on his record, says Nancy. And it will. By the House, but the Senate stopped it. He wasn't convicted. He wasn't removed from office. And thank goodness that Trump was our president when we came up with this pandemic. Because he made the choice hey, we need to stop flights coming in from China. Then we need to stop flights coming in from elsewhere. Joe Biden, for a couple of months, said that was a racist move. Shows Trump's intolerance for other people. That was wrong. Biden would have allowed people to keep coming in into March. How much destruction would that have wreaked on the U.S.? Don't know. I don't know. But I can say this for sure, that Trump did an awful lot of good in 4 years. He set back the agenda that Obama had placed and that Obama had worked on, should say President Obama, that President Obama had worked on for his 8 years. Trump pulled out a magic wand to bring back manufacturing jobs. Trump built the fastest rising economy ever. But no, that was all Obama's economy. We were just riding, Trump was riding his coattails. No, that's not the case. And here we are, stuck with the worst pandemic that we have had in 100 years, and we're still fighting it. We're still fighting it. But what did Trump do there? He put in a little program called Warp Speed so that we could get vaccines made faster than they have ever been made. And he did a good job. He incentivized those companies to get out there and get doing it. Now, whether the states are going to get those vaccines to their people, we don't know. Say, for instance, New York. They're fighting with each other on exactly how they're going to run this. And only a small percentage of the vaccines that were allotted to New York have been distributed. What are we waiting on? Mr. Emmy Award winner. Mr. Book writer on what you did to make your battle against the pandemic successful. Come on, Cuomo, what are you doing? And here we've got the mayor of New York. Let's get your act together, guys. So I'm going to say that the biggest two stories of the day are not exactly what went on in the Bay Area. Okay, I am sure there are some great stories of what has happened in the Bay Area. But the two biggest stories are the Senate elections in Georgia, where the Republicans lost, close losses, but they were losses. And what happened today after the rally in Washington. Now, I've got a lot of friends back there in Washington, and I want them to be okay. We don't know what's going to happen. I know that they've got a curfew, which the curfew has probably been on now for a half an hour because I believe it was going to be 6 p.m. that they were starting it. What we saw happen in Washington today was terrible, was absolutely terrible. And if it was done and the president found it pleasing that it was disrupted, I think that's absolutely wrong. You know what we've kind of missed out on? There was a third story back there. As they were going through the electors today, Vice President said, I do not have the right to change anything. I am going to hand over these electors and the votes as they were handed to me. I do not have the right to change anything. And that is true. That is true. I believe. So what we did have, though, was actions taken by congressmen and senators saying, hey, we are going to fight this. We want to debate this. We do not accept what has come in to Washington, D.C. These electors are wrong. We are going to protest that. And so they were just in their first couple of hours, and we did not get anything done. Everything had to stop. So I'm hoping that they're going to get right back to business tonight. And they're saying, I heard some of the people say, well, I certainly hope the Republicans will no longer protest this election because of what happened today. That makes no sense at all. Yes, we don't want to see what happened with people storming the Capitol building, but we want the process to play out, and we want it to play out fairly. We have a right to do that. I've got a little dog down here trying to tear out some stuff. We have got a right to do that, and we need to do it. Carry things out the way they were meant to be carried out, with no more outside interference. Do it. I think Ted Cruz's idea was the proper idea. I wish there was more support for it. But unfortunately, I think we have a bunch of weak-spined Republicans in the Senate. Hey, we have to admit that most of the people back there, they are bought off. Not only are they making a couple $100,000 a year, they are bought off by lobbyists. And it's a shame. It is a shame. These people were elected by state members, by the state voting public, and they should be working for them, not for lobbyists. And not for big banks. we've got to do what's right. And it's time, I think, that we take a look at how our country is run. And we get back to making it good for all the people. That's what our country was formed for, was for the good of all people. We've walked away from it. Now we vote really on what's right for the lobbyist. I don't know. I think we're going to see some changes, and I don't believe it's going to be for the better. But unlike how people have treated Trump for the last 4 years, I will treat Biden with the respect he's due as president of the United States. I'm going to disagree with him. I disagreed with Trump on things, although I think he did an awful lot right for us. In 4 years, he did and made an awful lot of changes. He was beholden to no one except to us citizens. But now what's the next group going to do? Who are they beholden to? What is going to happen? Hey, this is Bay Area Let's Talk. And unfortunately, today was taken up with just a lot of a mess. A lot things were messed up. So this is Bay Area Let's Talk. Tomorrow we will get back to talking about the Bay Area. But I did say that we would be talking on national and international events. And today I think most of everything that's happening, I don't care if it's in the Bay Area or not, the national news is what's dominating everything. Two big stories, and we're going to remember this. Remember January 6th, 2021, 6 days into the new year. We've got two new senators, progressive senators, and we had this happen in Washington, D.C. A peaceful rally, and then a storming of the Capitol building. I'm a Trump supporter, but I do not support what happened at the Capitol building. That was wrong. And I hope that everybody that broke in gets their just desserts. So, hey, Kellen. Thank you for checking in, Kellen. And I wish everyone a wonderful day. I wish you all the best. Look forward to being here again tomorrow. We'll be on at 3 o'clock and run for about a half hour. And if you got time to check us out, we are also have two other shows. We are at 6 a.m. in the morning where we talk about the Bible. We are reading Proverbs and also the Gospel of Luke. Getting good word in the morning. Then I talk about real estate at 9 o'clock, pertaining basically to the South Bay, but all of the Bay Area and what happens there. And then in the afternoon, I want to talk about what's happening in the Bay Area. News, music, sports, weather. But we also have national and international news that needs to be talked about. But I want to, for the most part, always stay about talking about the Bay Area. So I wish you all the best. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you tomorrow.